Hello everyone and welcome to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you my each way lucky 15 tips for tomorrow's racing, and we're going to be focusing on the action over across the Irish Sea, where it's the first day of the Irish flat turf season tomorrow, and I'll be giving you a selection to make up an each way lucky 15 bet. Before I get into those picks, I just want to say that my main piece of advice tomorrow would be to take on Aidan O'Brien. Yes, he is the master trainer over in Ireland, but at this time of year, he tends to take a couple of months for his stable to get into gear, and I think you're going to be wanting to be taking him on tomorrow. Probably trainers such as Jim Bolger, Ger Lyons, Jessica Harrington, Dermot Weld, those kind of trainers. I think you'll probably want to be siding with them horses tomorrow, and you'll be able to get a bit of value out there. And I would just want to go against Aidan O'Brien, because like I said, it'd probably be until about mid to late April that I want to start looking at his runners, because that's when he's going to start coming into form. So even though he will have Sir Dragonet tomorrow, who we will talk about a little bit later in the video, I'm going to be against him tomorrow. But anyway, with our first tip tomorrow, we go to the 3 o'clock at Naas with a horse called Titanium Sky. Now this horse is trained by Dermot Weld, and Andrew Slattery is booked for the ride tomorrow. Good apprentice rider, upcoming through the ranks, claiming a handy £5 off the horse's back. Now this horse has got a good stat in her favour tomorrow, in the fact that she won first time out last season at Leopardstown, so that freshness ability is definitely in her tomorrow to go well. And she was running okay, keeping some nice company. She was running enlisted and group races. Last time we saw her was in November, where she finished down the field. I think it was in 5th place in the end, behind a horse called Surrounding, who you might remember last year cleaned up a few pattern races for fillies and mares, so that was no bad level. She runs back in a handicap tomorrow off a mark of 92. And with the £5 aboard, claiming back from Andrew Slattery, she's going to be running off a mark near enough of 87. And with the freshness on her side, you can get 8-1 in places with a few firms. There'll be extra places on this race too. I think she's a really good bet to kick us off. So she's going to be the first tip there. We then go to the 3:30, staying at Naas, with a horse called a Real Appeal, trained by Jim Bolger, who had 3 winners on this card last year, so definitely a man to look out for tomorrow. And Kevin Manning, his main jockey, getting on a bit now, is put for the ride. Now this horse, like Jim Bolger's stable going well early last year, did exactly the same thing. He won 3 of his first 4 starts when he was trained over in France. He then came to Ireland and found things a bit tough running in group and listed races. He turns up tomorrow for a mark of 95. He might be a bit high in the weights, but he goes well on testing ground. The ground's currently described as heavy, but it shouldn't be an issue for him, and I think at a price tomorrow he can go very close, so he's going to be the second selection there. The third tip then runs in the Devoy Stakes, and I know Sir Dragonet, he won a Group 3 at Chester last year. He was a rising star. He got them well punted for the Derby, but didn't deliver, but still ran okay to make the frame. But I just think with Aidan O'Brien's record at this time of year, you want to be taking him on. And Halimi, again, a Jim Bolger runner, and Kevin Manning booked for the ride. I think he's a solid contender tomorrow. He did really well when he was running in handicaps last year, ran against some nice types, and he went really well on testing ground, and he did well at Naas too. And I just think tomorrow he's going to be trying his all, and I think that might just be enough to get him into a fight against Sir Dragonet. And I just wonder about Sir Dragonet's ability in a fight. He's more of a high cruising horse who does very well in these ground conditions. But Halimi, he's a double figure price in places. Again, I think he's a cracking bet tomorrow to take Sir Dragonet on with, and he'll do for me. We then go in the last race, the Park Express Stakes, a Group 3. And again, Aidan O'Brien has got a nice horse on paper anyway, in the shape of Blissful, I think it is, that's her name. But Aidan O'Brien hasn't won this race since 2005, and if you actually look back through some of the run-ins, he has had runners in this race, and they've been beaten at some short prices, but they have been nice horses that have gone on to do well later in the year. So that's definitely something to bear in mind. My selection is going to be Even So here for Ger Lyons and Colin Keane, but for the ride. Now Even So was an impressive winner last time we saw her last year when she won a maiden easily over Gorham Park. she's a daughter of Camelot, and Camelot's progeny seem to do better with age. So again, taking that into consideration, I think she's got a good chance of going well, and Joe Lyons can get one ready first time. So yeah, for me, Even So will be the last pick in my Each Way Lucky 15 tomorrow, and hopefully we can start off the Irish flat season on the turf with some winners. So that's what I got to say on that front. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button here for my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Twitter as well using my handle at LuckyLoaders15. Also as well, you can check out my website for more on my portfolio, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.